Well, Sarah Palin's new campaign tell-all comes out Tuesday. Her former running mate, Senator John McCain, says he's got a copy.
I received a signed copy of the book from Sarah, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And she certainly, it looks to me like she's going to sell a lot of books.
Senator McCain goes on to say that he's proud of Palin and his campaign, and he's ready to move on. But most of Palin's attacks are directed at the campaign staff, not the senator. So could finger-pointing cost Palin her political future? Well, Carly Fiorina is the former CEO of Hewlett-Packard and senior advisor to John McCain's presidential campaign, and she's also officially announced her candidacy for U.S. Senate in California. We have a lot to talk about, Carly. Thank you for coming in.
It's great to be with you, Shannon.
Let me ask you, first of all, what you make of the book. I don't know if you've had a chance to read any excerpts yet, but what do you think?
Well, I haven't had a chance to read the excerpts, and it was a real privilege to campaign for John McCain. He is a hero of mine and a personal friend. And for sure, Sarah Palin is a person who creates a lot of excitement, a lot of interest. I agree with the senator. She's going to sell a lot of books.
All right, well, we'll watch and see as that unfolds this week. Some other topics we want to get to you about. Let's talk about health care. You are a breast cancer survivor now. You have been through the system firsthand quite a bit over the last year and months. Tell us what you make of the current debate.
Well, healthcare is obviously something very personal for me because I am a breast cancer survivor. That's why I have this extremely short hair.
Very chic, very chic.
But, you know, there are a couple things that I think are critically important. One is to leave care in the hands of patients and their doctors. That must be where the decisions are made. And the health care bill, I think, tries to do way too much and puts forward a number of options that actually won't solve the problems. We ought to build on success. So what do I mean by that? For example, in California, we passed medical malpractice reform. It's worked. If we did that nationwide, we would save $54 billion a year. We ought to give Americans access to more low-cost clinics. We ought to use the power of choice and the discipline of competition to help reform the insurance industry rather than having the government-run public option, which won't work and which will be a huge and unaffordable entitlement program. There are ways to reform health care, and I support the reform of health care. But the bill wending its way through Congress right now is not going to solve the problem.
And what do you make of it as a part of the bigger need to address economic issues to get things going again here in the U.S.?
Well, you know, in my campaign for the U.S. Senate, job creation and economic vitality will be my top priority. And I think that should be the top priority of absolutely everybody in Washington and in state capitals around the country, including Sacramento. And unfortunately, I think this administration has taken on many, many things, but they haven't really addressed the key underlying issue, which is we are not creating enough jobs in this country. We are still losing too many jobs, and many of the programs that they are pushing are going to kill even more jobs.
All right, over the next year, you will have a big battle on your hands trying to unseat the Democratic senator out of California, Barbara Boxer. A comment I saw from you, you said after taking on chemo and everything you faced, that fight really doesn't scare you as much. How do you plan to be successful in that race? It's going to be a tough one.
Well, it is going to be a tough one, and it is a fight worth doing. I'm going to take it on first by talking to the people of California about the issues they care most about. And Californians, whether they're Democrats, Independents, or Republicans, the number one issue on their mind is jobs. And the second most important issue on their minds is out-of-control federal government spending. I plan to hold Barbara Boxer accountable for her record. She has not voted in the interests of the people of California, nor has she accomplished anything on behalf of the people of California. And finally, I think it's time we have in Washington someone who actually understands job creation and isn't afraid to take on out-of-control government spending.
All right. Carly Fiorina, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shannon.
We would welcome Senator Boxer anytime to come on and respond and to be a part of this debate. And we'll be watching you over the next year. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Shannon.